Hey Stampin' friends, welcome to the Joy of Stampin' with Rachel. I'm Rachael Coon and it's our Wednesdays kit class. Today I'll be using a soon-to-be retiring stamp set and dies called the Hey Chick stamp set and the Chick dies. And I'll show you some 3 fun cards to make with these before we say goodbye. Go to Whole Life Flip and I'll get started. All right. Welcome to our Wednesdays kit class. The summer has begun and we're still trying to figure out our schedule and what will work. So I'm glad you can join me today. And I want to tell you a little bit about my kit classes and how they work and why you want to order tomorrow. So you actually have 3 days to order and you can earn the kit for free, which comes with all of the paper products you need to make these 3 cards. And you just need to add the stamp set or use a supplement stamp set that you would want to in place of. But you need to order it by Friday using the hostess code and at least $35 worth online from my store. However, I say you want to order tomorrow because tomorrow when you order $50 worth, you also get free shipping. It's a 24-hour deal that Stampin' Up! Is doing, and it's the best way to kind of double up on free things. So you can get the free kit and get free shipping, and it's wonderful. And also get some of these last chance products. Today I am using the Hey Chick, and if you can see, this is the older version. So a couple years ago, it came out as a celebration stamp set, and then they released it back this last January. But when they released it, they also added the dies, which are just amazing. So if you're like me and you already had this stamp set, you could still just buy the dies and be perfectly fine. And that's how I end up getting it. Or you can bundle it and get 10% off with having it as a bundle. You see I have my cute little barns in here ready to go. Look at all that detail. I love these dies. And that's one of the things I really want to share with you today is how fabulous these dies are and why I think you should have them before they're gone. So of course we have the ones that will die cut these stamped images, but look at all these extras. So we have this cute little stump, these little eggs that even have an embossing part on it, this awesome chicken wire, a cute little sign, put your messages on, a bow tie, some chicken feed, little corns on the cob, of course that cute little very detailed barn. These are the little extra details that you put on the corn on the cob to make it look like actual corn on the stalk and the stalk itself. So these are amazing. If you don't have this yet, I highly suggest you getting it before June 30th and to get it tomorrow to get the free shipping. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you. We're going to start with the easiest and work our way up. And I think this one is the easiest card. It's fairly flat. It does have some extra layers, but it has this really cool technique we're doing where I've die cut the seeds out, and then I'm going to place some paper behind it to give that fun color. All right, let's go ahead and grab those into scene. And if you're watching this on YouTube later, I love to see your comments, but especially want you to click on the links to my blog and you'll see all of my measurements on there. I also put those in the comments on our Facebook Live after I've finished and uploaded everything. So this is what yours would come like. I would give you a little scrap of basic white so you can stamp your cute little hen and die cut her out. I use the Memento ink because I'm using my blends today. But if you wanted to use StazOn and use your colored pencils, you totally could. I also have our cute little barn, and I use the soft suede for that one. And then I have this little scrap that was actually from a card that we're making later on. And I thought that was a perfect fit to put for our seeds right here on the back. And that's how we'll attach those. All right, so a couple things first. Let's go ahead and color our little hen using our stamping blends. And I kept her really just basic. I didn't want to color in too much, and you can go crazy. You can do whatever you want and blend because you are an awesome blender. But I kind of like just keeping it simple sometimes. So I'm using the light Mango Melody, and I'm using my tip pen instead of the brush pen. And I just go over these little feathers, kind of like ruffled feathers right here, kind of to show that she has texture to her. and just going right over them. So this makes it pretty easy and fast when I do it this way. I do have one that I do color the whole way, and you can kind of see the difference, how that looks. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab my light Poppy Parade, and we're going to just do her little, I don't know what this is called. I should have researched my chickens before we started this video, huh? Head feathers, I guess. And then she has her little under chin gobble. That's, of course, is not the technical term, but I'm going to do that one just a little bit darker than her top. And I forgot her cute little nose. Let me grab the dark mango melody and use that tiny tip again, and we'll just get her little beak. Perfect. All right. Next, let's set her aside and grab this piece out here, and we want to stamp the Have a Happy Day. And I feel like I went too close to my seed, so I'm just going to space it out a little bit more on this one. And let's grab our saying, have a happy day. Okay. So mine are so old, or so old. When they came out, cling stamps was not a thing. So these ones are the older version, and sometimes they don't stay on as well. So we have a happy day. It looks awesome. And then we want to grab our sponge and our crumb cake, which is my favorite color to add a little bit of texture and to kind of dirty up a card, you know, make it look vintage. Oh, fun. I have two friends here. Hey, Karen, and hey, Phyllis. Phyllis says she's traveling. I just got done traveling, so I know how that is. I hope she's having a great time and that she'll be back home tomorrow. So this past week was a hot week, and I heard like everywhere but Southern California, where I am, was really hot. I don't know how your weather is, and tell me where you're from and how your summer has started. Summer was officially started this week. I think it was the beginning of the week it had started. And we left like 114 degrees in Utah to 64 degrees here in California. It was pretty awesome. All right, so I'm just going to, with my sponge, let's see if you see that, sorry. And I just tap it into the ink pad and go along the edges. You can either put it on the ground and do it on your grid paper if you feel like that would work better. But I personally like to just hold it. I think I did this one though, lying flat. Yeah, I just kind of rubbed it over that just to give that kind of like dirt look around it. Okay, perfect. And these measurements, this was the full card front size. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Let's go ahead and add our fun little piece of DSP that's going to peekaboo through it. And if you wanted this to have, I think we might change it up just a little bit, and I'll show you how. To make it look a little bit more of a window. All right, I'm going to use my seal and just go around some of these spots here. Well, maybe I won't need to do it that way, huh? I was trying to think if I wanted to put dimensionals on this and pop it up on top of my card. But since I didn't use dimensionals for this piece here, it doesn't matter too much. So we could just leave it plain. No dimensionals. Add your liquid glue or your seal and attach it to your card base, which is that crumb cake. This is my all-time favorite color of paper and ink, and it was the first ink I ever bought from Stampin' Up, which is pretty cool. That was, I think, almost 9-10 years ago. All right, there we go, looking good so far. Now we just need to add our cute little barn. And I use liquid glue. You could totally pop this one up too. I'm gonna make sure we do use dimensionals on that chicken of ours, our hen. I'll place this in the top left corner, just like that. I kind of want to make it look like it's in the background, so I'm having it further away, and she's going to be up front and close, and she'll look just a little bit bigger. So it gives it kind of a cool space fill to it. The distance, I should say. Okay, I'm going to put just about 3 dimensionals on her. I'll flip her over. And I want to just tilt her a little bit. She already looks like she's looking down like that. But we're going to kind of have her tilting with her feathers going up and her looking at this food. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's grab our bone folder. We'll show you the finish of this one. See, this one's super simple. Hold on, it's a little out of focus. Let me see if you can see that better. There we go. Love that. Have a happy day. Perfect. All right, let's go on to our next one, which has a little bit more details. And it shows how you can use the images of the chicks to make a background. And then there I go, and I went ahead and colored all of her feathers for this one. Let's go ahead and set that aside so you can see it. And let's grab our pieces. This one, again, is featuring some dies more so. That we're using the cute little eggs that I've cut out. I try to keep it in a bag so I don't lose anything. And then they get stuck inside. Hopefully we have enough eggs. There we go. So this egg is so cool. Look at that. See that embossing speckles right there? And then we have this piece, which you will get looking like this. I will not poke out all of those pieces for you because it helps it be a little bit more stable. And I'll show you real quick how to get rid of them. I am using some retiring layering ovals. I know, shame on me, but here's the deal. I think these ovals look so much like an egg. So I just had to use an oval in order to have the You're a Good Egg, right? And hopefully you have this in your craft room. If not, if you don't, you could totally substitute this with just the circle shape dies instead. You want the basic white for the inside because this Poppy Parade is just a little bit too dark to write on. And then you want to have your basic black and your crumb cake to mat together. Let's go ahead and get ready to stamp on our crumb cake. And then we'll stamp also on our oval and color this cute little hen in. So I'm again using that soft suede. I try to use the same inks to make it simple. So if you wanted to remake these, you wouldn't need as much supplies. And we're just going to go very randomly and stamping chickens all over. My tip is mostly to start with your bigger chicks. Sorry, something just fell out of my pantry. Did I mention my kids are home? And so it's kind of fun here with them home all the time and not in school, I should say. Okay, so we're going to put this cute little chick. She can go right here. And we're going to have some of it so you can't see all of her. We want to look like it's flowing and just very random. And we're going to put another one. And we're going to just have her tilted this way. Like that. And this centerpiece this right lower end will cover up anyway. So that's just for our own fun to see. All right, let's grab this other big hen and we'll ink her up and put a couple of her on here. Let's put her one right there. And let's add some of her feet right here. Super cute. I love her feathers in this one. Then we have that crazy one. Let me get this back on. Like I said, this is not the cling one, so it doesn't stay on as well. So I've used a glue dot to attach it. This is the older version, and I'm so glad we have the cling now. Oh, cute. Look at that one. It's a fun, crazy, kind of like a crazy rooster friend. Can we fit another one right in here? Oh, maybe. Awesome. And then we have the cute little egg as well. So this one is just the tiniest, and we'll just kind of fill some of the spots with this one. And actually, we might only get like one egg in. Maybe we could put one more down here at this bottom. And let's add some feet. Cute. Love it, love it. If you want to, you can go ahead and sponge the ends of this one now as well, like we did with the other one, or leave it as is. Totally up to you. Oh, I closed my ink too soon. Let me go ahead and grab that back out, and we can stamp our saying on the bottom of this oval. I did the You're a Good Egg for this one. Okay. Let's go as close to the bottom as we can. Perfect. Now we'll put the ink away. And we just need to color our cute little hen. So this one I gave her the light Poppy Parade for her body feathers and then the dark one for her top, and left some white spots and a little bit of the mango for her feet and beak. We're going to use the brush in for this one though. And just kind of go up and down however you want. I do want to tell you, be careful as you go around her wing, and I'm going to go back around that in just a second with the smaller tip. Just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Blends are super forgiving. And there's even a blend that is a color lifter. So if you do have some happy accidents, like Bob Ross would say, you could totally fix them. All right. I did add just a little bit of the dark one on her bottom of her breast, just to give some variation there. And you want to make sure you do it pretty quickly after you color that first top, because blends work best when they are wet. And they dry super fast because they have are alcohol based. And so you want to work on your layers one at a time. So I want to go ahead and color, I colored the belly first versus her top feathers, just that way it would be still wet on her body. All right, let's go ahead and grab the dark mango, or you could do the light, just depends on what shade you want, and get her cute little beak and her cute little feet. Make sure you get both of them. Of course, I'm using that little tip for this one because that one's a little bit tricky, or just smaller, I should say. There she is, and her beautiful hen glory. Love it. Super cute and just playful, right? All right, let's go ahead and start assembling now. Let's get our layers together with our oval. Put some liquid glue on the back of the black one. And line it up. I like to use my finger on the bottom to help from it going too far down. But I am using liquid glue just so I have that wiggle to make sure it lines up just the way I want it. We'll put the white oval now on top of the black. Like that. And then we're going to add dimensionals to the back of her. And you see, blends will bleed through when you don't use a super thick cardstock. So make sure you color with something underneath. All right, let's give her a couple of these. And I've die cut these beforehand just to save that step. But this is the die that we used from the chick dies to get this awesome, perfectly cut out hen. I could not cut her that well. So focus, there we go. Super cute. All right, let's go ahead and do our black with our background crumb cake piece. Gonna keep my fingers at the bottom, help me to just make sure it lines up right. And I can pull it as needed. You make sure you have that basic white for the inside. Let's get that put on. If you want to, you can even stamp a cute another chick right in here as well. Or that little cute egg. Okay. Add this to our card base front. There's Lily. She's been doing so good lately. She was in the hospital for a little bit, but she's better now and just takes daily medicine. All right. So now we have this piece. So if you have a take a pick tool, you could totally use that and I'll help you get it out, or your tip of your scissors, but you can also kind of ruffle it through and they'll just fall right out. However, there are some other tiny pieces that come out a little bit trickier. And that's what you'll use your paper snips. And it's just these tiny little holes, which you can keep it or leave it. It's up to you. I love the way this chicken wire looks. And I'm so sad that this will no longer be available to everyone on my online store after June 30th. These dies are just amazing, and they're so detailed. And even very delicate, like how amazing this comes out. This came out really nicely. Sometimes delicate dies get stuck in the die itself, or even stuck to the cutting board. This one came out really nice. Stampin' Up! Does a great job about that. Almost done. I know, all the holes. So the Take the Pick tool would be probably the safer version since I have these open scissors, but sometimes if that's all you have, you want to make sure you know how to do it. And look at that mess I made. It's kind of like a little bit of confetti here. All right, so now we want a glue dot for this part. And what I'm going to do is put a glue dot on the part that will be not seen on the card. So this will be underneath our hen. So on my, the right side of it. Let's try to get a glue dot attached to that and put it so you have a little bit, probably like half an inch, maybe a quarter of an inch right there. And then we can add our dimensionals and cover up some of that chicken wire. Let's grab these dimensionals here. And oh, I'm almost out, so I'm going to go ahead and cut myself off the border. I use dimensionals all the time. Oh, I had another one. We'll just sneak that one in. And so I'm always getting new sheets out. They are one of my favorite products, and they come with like 300 for $4, and they're on 3 different packs. So they are pretty amazing. And then, of course, you can get those bonus dimensionals off the sides as well. Okay, so this is flapping up just a little bit. So what we're going to do is grab our cute little eggs. And I use glue dots for those ones. I think we're going to use some mini dimensionals for these ones. Let me find, there we go, mine. So this is another great one. The mini dimensionals, they're smaller, and so you don't have to cut them. And they are a little bit lower, I think. Like they're not as high as a dimension as the original size. All right, let's put 1 egg right there. See, that helps keep our wire down. And we'll put another egg just kind of layered over like that. Super cute. All right, let's grab our bone folder. I start the bend, and then I flip it over and use the side of your bone folder to help crease it. Like that. And there we go. We have a cute little You're a Good Egg card with our cute hen. All right, our last card today is a fun fold. It's a very simple and easy fun fold, though. So don't be too intimidated. Let me just clean up my mess a little bit, huh? And it's super cute. All right, so here is it. It has the Hey Chick. Let me get closer so you can see some details. Hold on, there's a piece. There we go. So we have those corn on the cob, and we have that extra little piece. You see how it looks like it's attached to it because of that extra piece? Super awesome. And then we have a fallen cob right here. The sign that is embossed when we cut it. So it does it one time through our Stampin' Cut machine, and it cuts and embosses at the same time. And then I have our ribbon right here, and you open it up and you see that it is a smaller inside. So I've kept that kind of like a book. You see how that's just attached there? And that's a really simple step. I just went over 1 inch from my 4 1/4 score and scored it again at 3 1/4 to create kind of more of a slender inside. It's a little bit less space to write, but I love this one. And I love that I can do this and hide the ribbon ends. I don't like to have ribbon on the inside of my cards to show. I prefer that to kind of be hidden. And so this was a perfect layout for that. Okay, let's get our pieces out. So you can see how we make this one. Now all of our corns and cobs, dump those out. Okay, so I did go ahead and die cut the stitch rectangle for our main piece here. And I'm going to grab that sponge that I used earlier, and we're just going to sponge the bottom. We want to give it kind of a dirt look. So I'm just not even inking it again. I'm just using the leftover. Do you guys have sponges like that that just have ink on them still, and could just add just a very soft, I don't think it might be so soft you can't even see. So in person, I can see a very light layer of crumb right there, which just gives that added extra texture. All right, we have our corn on the cobs that we can add to this. And when you do it, you want to kind of just have them, play with them a little bit to figure out your spacing. I think that would look pretty good. We need to stamp our Hey Chick on this, and I'm keeping with that soft suede today as my, kind of my neutral color. Let's grab our Hey Chick and stamp it on our sign. Perfect. And that's the name of the set, so I think that one's just a perfect saying for this one, Hey Chick. And there's so many things you can say Hey Chick for and make it fun. That's all the stamping for this one. So fairly simple there. We do need to go ahead and color in our cute little, I think he's a rooster. I think those other ones were hens, and we're calling this a rooster. Let's go ahead and use the light Poppy Parade. And we're going to do its nose. Just like that. Going a little bit different this time. We'll grab the light mango for its feet. And I'm going to use a light also for the outlining of the feathers. So we'll just go right here. And like that. Super simple. Okay, so this one I did double yellow. I'm tempted to change this one up and make it a little bit more fun and do some tail feathers that will be red. I know it might be crazy. This one is the light, so let's go ahead and try some red feathers here. And I'm using the tip pen, which I usually don't do, but there's some tiny spots on this one that I don't want to go too crazy about. Oh, this is going to be fun. My grandma used to have roosters in her backyard for a long time. Whenever I would go visit, I would love to see them. And they actually fly up into trees and sleep there, which is kind of funny, until you have to wake up in the morning listening to them. Let's go ahead and do the dark one, and we'll do this crazy head feathers here. If you wanted to, this would be a great time to give highlights to your rooster and do a couple different colors. So I think I'm going to just go scraggly like that and not completely. Let's see if you can see that. See how I left some of those white colors there? And then for added fun, because this is a Hey Chick card, we want to go ahead and add some Wink of Stella to our feathered head and our tail feathers. Because sparkle that dries and doesn't transfer makes everything happy. I haven't been using my Wink of Stella nearly as much as I used to. You can kind of see it there in the photo where it's a little bit wet looking there, and it'll dry and it'll be just a beautiful sparkliness. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and build our little corn on the cob and get those ready. There are two sides, or like kind of like a top and a bottom, and I think the one with the little notch or circle on the bottom makes it the bottom. And it's more pointed at the top. So to add a little bit of glue, you can either add it to the green part or to the actual cob and flip it over to attach it. And let that one dry. And I'm missing another green one. I bet it's somewhere in here. Oh, there it is. And these ones were great. These actually came with like three or four. So I was able to die cut all of these in just one time through my die cutting machine, because the dies came with multiples of the exact same thing. See, like there's 4 of those ones. There are 4 cobs. It's perfect. All right. Next, let's go ahead and start assembling onto our rectangle here. For this one, you're just going to add a little bit of adhesive. You don't need a whole lot, kind of almost dots. When things are super thin like this and I didn't use my adhesive sheets, dots are the way to go. We'll flip it over and stick it on. And then go off a little bit because we have room on there to still be able to put it in the envelope. Okay, a couple of dots there. Hopefully we didn't lose too much of the glue. I dropped it. And just press and hold for a tight minute, or use your clear block to help hold it down. and let that glue dry on. Then let's go ahead and grab some dimensionals for our little rooster guy. You can either use the small ones or the big. It's up to you. We'll flip it over and then we'll know where to put our sign. Right there. And grab our sign. For the sign, you don't need to add anything to the bottom. Just 2 right there. And if you wanted to, I think I left this one loose. If you're worried about that, go ahead and put a little bit of a glue dot or adhesive on the bottom, and that will secure it. So I'm going to have this go over a little bit, so I got to be careful. Look at the side. See my dimensionals kind of going over, so I'm not going to stick that down too hard so it doesn't attach to my grid paper. All right. Oh, we forgot our corn. Let me go ahead and put our little glue right there and a little bit of glue right here. We'll add our corn to our stalk. And I like to have them going different directions or kind of towards each other like that. And then just one random corn, because you know this rooster's going to want to eat the corn on the bottom. All right. Let me set that aside carefully and let's go over to our fun fold part and get our ribbon out. I'm actually using a retired ribbon, and I try not to do that because I really want you guys to be able to make these cards yourself at home. But I love this bumblebee one, and the style of it is just super perfect. If you don't have this one in your craft room, you can use the crinkle white ribbon, and you can use your blends that we used earlier and just color your white to the yellow, and that works perfectly fine. In the kit, however, I will give you some of this ribbon, and you can make your own, or you'll have this ribbon in yours. So what I do is I go ahead and I line it up, and I give myself about 1/2 inch on each side, maybe a little bit more, and just cut it. So I know that's at least 5.5, probably 6 inches long of ribbon. And then we're going to go ahead and flip it over and put some seal, or if you have Steel Plus, that'd be great right here too. And we're going to get it to come out. 1 second, there we go. Sometimes you just have to advance it a little bit. In fact, I'm going to go all the way down with this one. We're going to take that ribbon and just fold it over the top. Try to get it about center. And it attaches like that. And then I'm going to flip it over to see what I'm doing. Hold it like that, pull it tight, and fold over. There we go. Then what we're going to do is go ahead and fold this all the way down. Just like that. Take our bone folder and crease it. There we go. And we've created kind of like a little book. That's what I want to say. That's what it looks like. Then we're going to grab about 3 inches of that ribbon and just tie it onto that ribbon that we just attached. Probably not 3. Maybe this is going to be a lot, so we'll have to trim this. And you just tie a single knot to it. Pull on both ends. And you can slide it if you don't tie it too tight to where you want it to be. And take your paper snips and just trim your ends to the length that you want it to be. There we go. Super cute. Now we just need to add our matting for these parts here and for the inside. So let's go ahead and add some liquid glue. This DSP comes from the Brights family DSP. So all of the color families have DSP that you can use, and they have the similar patterns, but in their color family. And I use Brights for almost all of these cards. The Granny Apple Green is a Bright. The Poppy Parade is a Bright. The Mango Melody is definitely a Bright. But I use also the Crumb Cake and the Soft Suede, which are neutrals. To kind of just even it out. We don't want this to be too loud of cards. Oh, and the white and the black are also neutral colors as well. Okay, let's add some liquid glue to this one and put it in the inside. And this one you probably could get away with not having an inside part, but I think it looks more book-like when I do it this way. Awesome. All right, liquid glue to the back of our little cute rooster hey chick sign guy. And we'll be done with this card. I went ahead and like to do it at an angle. You can keep it straight if you wanted to, but I think the angle makes it even more fun. There we go. 2 cute hey chick cards that are a fun fold. And you can see are my different roosters. One's a little bit more party crazy with that red tail feather, huh? Love it. So we have that fun fold one. Then we have our You're a Good Egg. And of course that simple one that we started off with, the Have a Happy Day with the cute little seeds as well. All right, you guys, I hope you had a great time learning how to make these cards today. And be sure to get this stamp set and the chick dies before they retire coming up next week on June 30th. Have a great week, you guys. Happy stamping. Goodbye.